Hi everyone, in this segment we're going to cover the basic parts of a sewing machine. So this is my Singer 262 sewing machine. She's about 16 years old. She is almost all mechanical. I'm sure there's some kind of computer chip inside of it, but based on all the knobs that it has, I'm willing to say that she's purely mechanical. And she's very basic. She produces very few designs of stitches, but I have found that in all of my 30 years of sewing, I really only go back from straight stitch to a zigzag. So let's get started on probably one of the most important parts of the sewing machine, one that draws the most attention for anyone who is seeing a sewing machine for the first time up close. So we have our needle here. Let me just bring down our presser foot here so you can see it a little better. So we have our needle here, our presser foot, which is what holds our fabric sandwiched together between this plate here and is able to hold it steady to feed our fabric through. Then we have our needle threader. In this particular model, well, to be honest, I've never really used it much. I've never been a fan of the threaders, but if you don't have the steadiest hand, or you struggle with your eyesight, it might be a good option to learn how to use your needle threader. And then back here, it's a little difficult to see, but we have, actually I think this, you can see it here. We have a presser foot lever. So this brings our presser foot up and down when we want to put fabric underneath our presser foot to begin sewing. And then down here, one of the most prominent parts is the bobbin casing down here. That bobbin is what holds the thread for the sewing machine to eventually loop its bottom thread with the upper thread of your needle, and thus creating your stitch. We'll go over how to load and how to wind that machine in later videos. So then we come up here and we have what we call our upper thread tension regulator. I have this set on automatic because it provides just the right amount of tension through the machine so that your thread comes and creates an even tension stitch. It's not too tight and not too loose. And it creates a good quality constructed product, whether it's a piece of clothing or a home decorating project, anything that you're sewing. So then we come to our reverse lever. So this lever here, you would press down when you want the machine to go in reverse at the beginning and at the end of a stitch line. When you let it go, it goes back moving forward. So then we have basically our stitch indicators. So here is this regulates the width of your sewing machine, of your stitch. So you move, in my particular model, in this position, will produce a straight stitch. As I move it this way, it'll produce a wide zigzag when combined with the zigzag stitch here in my selector, in my indicator. So in this case, if I wanted to do a zigzag stitch, I would move my stitch selector down to a zigzag, and now my machine is ready to produce that kind of stitch. Now over here is another little regulator. This is a stitch length regulator. So this in millimeters will determine the length of your stitch. So how long the stitch actually is. So as it's going down, it'll be, in this case, 3 millimeters, and then 3, and then 3. In my particular machine, the knob is here to select, but I like a 3 millimeter stitch by default. And then as you come around back here, now you start to see the knobs I've been turning. This one is the length, this one is the design of the stitch, and then this is my hand wheel. So the hand wheel will come in handy for you anytime that you don't want to press on your pedal. The pedal is what gives your machine the power to move the pedal up and down, and this is the pedal itself. So it'll always be sitting on the ground. It's hardly ever visible, but there it is. Now you move it and the needle goes down, move it forward and the needle goes down, move it backwards and the needle goes up. And then we have the power button there. So now we're moving on to the top. So the top of your sewing machine has the presser foot regulator, as we indicated, and then it has 2 spool pins and a bobbin winder. So your spool pins hold the actual thread that you're going to be sewing with. The bobbin winder here will load the thread from your spool to the small plastic bobbin that we discussed earlier at the bottom of the presser foot. Some sewing machines, I should note that some sewing machines have the bobbin cartridge underneath the machine, and it'll be different for your model, most likely, and but this is what my machine counts with. These are the features of my sewing machine. So this is pretty much the basic introduction into a sewing machine. You know, if you have any questions or comments about it, please do so in the comment section below. And I hope that this video has served the purpose of introducing you to the basic parts of a sewing machine.